One of the most revolutionary ideas that has come into the world of psychology actually originated in indigenous traditions. In the indigenous world, including the Jewish indigenous tradition, we have a clear understanding that a human being is not a monolith. You are not just one thing. Inside of you, there are so many different voices functioning at any given point in time. I was first introduced to this concept when I watched the television show Herman's Head, which is all about this character who has these different people inside of his head who are all debating and discussing everything going on in his life. And I felt so seen by that. You might also know from the film Inside Out that exact same concept. We're not just one thing. We have all of these voices inside of us. And one of the things that we're seeking to do as human beings is create some sort of harmony and internal dialogue that has beauty to it, that has cooperation to it. At the center of that is the soul, is the neshama from a Jewish perspective, or self from the perspective of internal family systems. And one of the things I help people do is get really in touch with that central, immutable, beautiful part of themselves that is able to offer compassion and healing to the parts of themselves that are wounded, that are stressed, that are totally on edge and on protector mode. And I use a number of different parts work modalities, from IFS to the journey, to the work of Byron Katie, to Torah psychology, to help people access these parts, be compassionately in relationship with these parts, and bring any parts that are kind of hiding in the dark places, scared and alone, bring them into community, into the internal community that exists inside of them. I've heard people get a little bit wary of the idea that they have all of these different parts functioning inside of them. They're nervous that that might mean that they're schizophrenic or they have multiple personality disorder. And I would say that these disorders are very extreme versions of what we all have inside. And one thing I say to people all the time, let's say I invite you to a party and you have one part of you that really wants to come to the party and enjoy and be with people, and there's this other part of you that would rather stay home and read a book. Boom, you have two parts right there. And we talk that way in our lexicon all the time. Part of me wants to go, part of me wants to stay. It's in all these different songs that we sing. We just are that way. And as we close our eyes and come into contact with our inner world, the parts just appear. They might appear as a body sensation, or as a voice, or as a visual. And as soon as people experience those parts, they stop having questions because they see it alive within themselves. I had a client walk into my clinic today, and he was talking about how there are so many areas of his life that are going really well and are blossoming, but internally, he feels totally crappy and that everyone's gonna leave him and nobody loves him. And what I'm hearing through the lens of parts work is that he has parts that are excited to engage with people and with life, and he has parts that are scared that people are gonna leave him and that people don't love him. And when I pointed this out to him, it created so much calm and ease in his system, because he no longer felt confused of why he was acting in two different ways. He understood, oh, this part is doing this and this part is doing that. And so together we started engaging with the part that was scared that everyone was gonna leave. And not so surprisingly, this part was just this young little boy who was scared even that the client himself was gonna abandon him. So there was a lot of holding space, of being with, of breathing, and of staying. And for a lot of us, we didn't have someone when we were kids who just stayed with us, who saw us and who heard us from such a beautiful, authentic place, without any agenda, without a desire to change us or mold us, but just to see us. And eventually this little kid started turning and facing the client. And I said to the client, how's the kid doing now? About half an hour, 45 minutes into the session. He said, now he's parentable. And this client knows what a beautiful parent he is. And so now he has somebody to work with, somebody to bring into the fold, and someone who's a little less scared that he's gonna be abandoned, because he already knows he's being held by someone who loves him so much.